All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer here. Hello, Purpose 7447. Welcome to the channel. All right, so as you all know, over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've been doing a lot of scrying, basically daily, utilizing the Black Scrying Mirror. It is the beginning stage of a very long haul of working with rituals, rites, divination styles, and tools in a series to kind of just show you all, what you can do with these things and how they can help you within your own personalized rituals. Now, I started out with the Black Scrying Mirror because it is the most basic and simplistic tool that one can use. So, when I started doing this, I started, with my altar behind me and had all the candles and everything going, and I was facing the altar room door. Okay, I placed the scrying mirror right there, and I started with a single candle. Okay, right in front of it, just enough so I could see that flame and focus my attention into that flame in the center. Okay, of the mirror. Now, didn't really work out the best way, in my opinion, but it is there because you can still see yourself and you can see that flame. And anytime anything moved behind you, it was kind of distracting. So what I did was I went kind of diagonal, and I ended up putting the candle flame behind. But before I did that, I ended up putting three tea leaf candles around it, okay, in a B type section. That really produced just enough result that I started benefiting from it. However, it wasn't the full benefit. So I experimented a little bit on this, and I ended up utilizing just a regular candle. Okay, I'm talking one of those thick ones you can get from Walmart or Hobby Lobby. Okay, and I put it behind the scrying mirror. And as I sat there, focusing just on my shadow self within the camera, just literally within the mirror itself, I started seeing the results. I even took snapshots of it, placed it on my Facebook account, placed it on my TikTok account, and my Timber account. And it was interesting because of the fact that I started seeing the results. I started utilizing spiritual conjuration, calling forth and focusing my mind on what was going on and what was coming up, what is going to happen. Okay, think of it more as a time and a place type thing. Okay, this is what I was focusing on. I had some issues at work that I was dealing with, and I really wanted to focus in on was going on with that aspect. So it was very interesting to see the results from this, and it was very positive. Okay, but then about week and a little over a week and a half, about a week, little over a week ago, I say between a week and a week and a half, I started utilizing a jar. Okay, a spiritual jar, conjuration jar. I put all the seals on it. I filled it up. I utilized all the cursing, anything to do with the curse that I was doing because it was a cursing jar. And I ended up putting it all in there. Okay. Just in there. And I placed it in the circle. Okay. I had about 9 candles surrounding me. 9 candles. Okay. At various intervals around the circle that I was sitting in. Not just the one that was behind the can, the mirror. And I placed the mirror within a triangle of evocation. Okay. And this mirror was surrounded by brimstone powder. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with what brimstone powder is, it is sulfur powder. Okay, and I even utilized a little bit of graveyard dirt, black sand, and a little bit of iron shards to create that magnetic pole. Okay, to link it all together. Placed candles at all 3 points, and I connected them through this powder, metal shards, the black powder, and black sand, and everything. So it really benefited, and you could feel the power as it was being raised. Okay, it was very, very beneficial. And then I got the idea, something I haven't used in a very long time, and I ended up going over to Hobby Lobbies here in my city, and I picked up a box. Turned out the box was 50% off, so instead of paying $20, I ended up paying like $10 for it. And so that was pretty cool. It was more like $9, but because it was 19.95, and I ended up paying 9.95 for it, plus a couple of candles, which brought it up to roughly about $12 and some odd cents. So that was pretty cool. Okay, nice little surprise on that one. So, anyways, as I was saying, I came back, and because I had everything in the circle, I had everything, already, up and running. I just lit the candles, lit the incense, and I placed the box right off to the side. I had the spiritual box, the house of the spirits on the right hand side, and I placed this cursing box, the Dibak box, to the left. Okay, and because I had the circle with the triangle and the 2 spots here and the triangle, right behind it. I decided, let's put all this together. You know what I'm saying? So it was really kind of interesting to see just how you were doing this, because I was calling upon the spirits. I was using the chants, the mantras. I'd focus on the candles, focus on the box and the jar. And when I felt it was time, I ended up picking up the jar, placing it into this box. But before I did, I ended up putting a lot of seals upon the box. Okay, I'm talking the seal of Saturn, the dark planet. Utilized the warding, okay, symbols. I utilized a whole bunch of different types of curses that I placed inside and outside of this box. So I cleansed it, blessed it, sanctified the box, and I started putting everything in it. Okay, so every time I chanted for like a week, focused on my intent, utilizing those whispers, utilizing those mantras, the curses, my intent, my will, and literally sticking my hand out and focusing on everything that this individual has done. My will was literally just to rid this world of this person. I'm done with this asshole. You know, I'm done fucking around with him. I've had enough with him. You know what I'm saying? So I put it all right there. And when I was done with it, I picked up the person jar after I had sealed this with black candle wax. Okay, not just black candle wax, but red candle wax. I sealed the cover on so with a nice thick coat of wax. Let it run down the jar, and it was interesting to see how warm it was. The entire jar was warm. It was heated up like it'd been sitting on a stove or in a pot boiling on water, so to speak. If you've ever had a pot, those of you who do herbalism, some cooking, like say making, pickles from cucumbers, stuff like that. You set it in the pot, you let it boil, and you kind of heat it up. Okay, that's basically what went down. So, except for this is in an altar. So I picked it up and I placed it in the debunk box that I had prepared. I swept up all the sulfur, the graveyard dirt, the it just everything, okay, that I had in that triangle, and I placed it in the box. I would recommend to you that if you're going to do something like this, I recommend cardboard underneath, okay? Because if you're going to be placing candles on top of the box or on top of an item and just letting it burn out, you got to remember that wax tends to travel, okay? Which means you're going to have one hell of a mess to clean up if you're on a bare floor, okay? And candle wax, depending on how long you leave it on the floor, will stain the floor, okay? So keep that in mind as well. That's why I recommend utilizing a cardboard box, okay, placing it underneath it within the circle. So you really want to make this big enough, not only for you to sit in, but also for you to do this right ritual within. So, anyways, once I had everything on there, I set it in the center. I had the candles in the setting of a triangle of evocation. I had the red candle and the black candle on top, and I had the 9 candles going around it, the circle. I had my altar going for full blaze. I'm talking incense. And like I said in my last video, if you're not being tried by the gods, you're not doing it because you gotta sacrifice. Okay? Think of it a life for a life, blood for blood, bone for a bone. Okay? What's that old expression that Anton said? Anton LaVey? When you're struck on the left, smash them in the right. Same thing. You're not gonna sit there and let somebody pump you. Okay? So you're gonna strike back. So in this case, because it was an accursed item, because it was an accursed object, I wanted to seal it all in. So I had a latch to it. So I let the candles run down over the top, sealing everything in. Hey, stuck in the deep. Welcome back. So I let the candle wax, do its thing. 2 candles on top. I let it burn right out. And then every so often, I'd pick up the 3 candles that I had in the triangle, and I would pour that wax along the edges of the entire box, okay, and just let it run right down it. This was awesome because every time I did this, and while I was chanting and using the words of power, I was noticing all the 9 candles were going nuts. Now, keep in mind, like I said in my last video, there is no airflow in this room. No airflow whatsoever. One way in, one way out. Okay? There's no windows, no nothing, just a door that was sealed tight. Okay? Now, normally, I don't have any effects when I do ritual of any kind with incense or anything. This particular type of rite, it felt like you had a constrictor wrapped around you. I literally had to hit my inhalers several times after, you know, about 15 minutes of this particular one day. Literally, I could not catch my breath. It was there. So I still pushed on. Even though I was tired, I was exhausted, I still did this. So every single day, I poured this candle wax over, and I used the entire candles. Okay. So not only did I use the 2 that I had on top, that was 2 candles. I also used 3, so a total of 5 candles. Okay, just let the wax go over it, and I sealed this thing shut. Okay, so when I was done with it, I took it to the graveyard and I buried it. Okay, then I came home and I cleansed my altar room. Literally got rid of all that energy, all that negative energy. Okay, just got rid of it. Cleansed, not just myself, but my home. You need it. Okay, so over a total of 3 to 4 weeks, I have seen a massive benefit of using a black scrying mirror. Using that black scrying mirror literally with your own blood smeared across it, okay, opens up that portal, opens up the realms so that you can commune with those spirits and it gives those who you're working with, say Anubis or Chernobog, or say for example, any number of demons of destruction. Okay, Samael, Ariok, Abaddon, Samael, the Venom, you know, Alistar, the Executioner, whoever you want to work with. Okay, even Andreas, the demon of rage, hate. Okay, utilize Asmodee, the demon of desire, demon of wrath. Okay, you can literally feel these beings. You're giving them a way into your ritual to help join in, but you're also giving it not only the effigy, but the link to your victim. Okay, and then you're sealing it away in the debunk box. Now, a debunk box is a Jewish custom. Okay, they used it for in ancient culture. They used a debunk box for housing of demons, male violent spirits. Okay, and in this case, I'm using it to house a person that I don't want to die. I don't want this fucker to die. I wanted this fucker to suffer for all eternity. So he has no way out. Okay, this individual has no way out. Not only did I put him in a cursing jar, but he's in a debunk box and he's sealed in and buried. Okay, he ain't getting out. His suffering's going to be eternal. Okay, incredible right. Okay, 100% success in this manner. Okay, the energy. I still go into my altar room even today, and it's been about 3 days since I finished this rite. Okay, that energy is still there. It is that altar room is still about 98 degrees. Okay, in there, and it's like 70 degrees out. Okay, the rest of the house could be a nice, a fridge type temperature. That room is hot, like you've opened it up to the flames of hell. Okay, and it's not dissipating. It's still there. Okay, which is awesome because that's what you want in a ritual room. So here we are. I've taken a little rest over the last couple of days because just to gain my composure and to figure out, okay, which tool do I want to use next? Okay. So while I was thinking about this, I've decided I'm going to go on to pyromancy. Okay. Pyromancy. Pyromancy is one of those ones dealing with flames. Okay. Nothing but the study and practice of flames. Okay. You can look this up on Google. You can look it up in witchcraft books, sorcery books, wherever you want to go to look it up. It is one of the mancies, and according to the Catholic Church, it is one of the 7 forbidden practices. Okay, that's right, one of the 7 forbidden practices. But what you don't realize is that there's a hell of a lot more mancies out there than just 7. Okay, there is 36 different types of mancies out there, and I'm going to be practicing them all. Okay, I'm going to be performing them in my ritual room daily. Okay, and I'm going to be, like I said, doing this every 3 weeks. I'm going to go from one to the other and continue on. This one here, it just happened to coincide with a ritual that I had been planning. It, it was kind of funny how that happened. And then on top of that, you have a full moon, the hunter's moon. That was kind of cool. Okay, I did not even pay attention to the lunar cycle, and so that was kind of interesting to see. And it's funny how the gods will actually do this. So that's awesome. So with that said, I wanted to jump on here and kind of give you that update on the benefits of using a scrying mirror, a spirit box, and a debunk box, but also and how you can use it within a ritual. Okay. In this case, like I said, it was a cursing ritual, and I wasn't planning on doing a curse while utilizing the scrying mirror. It just happened to fall into that, and then, like I said, went right into a full moon rite. So that was kind of cool, and shit like that happens every so often. It's like a blue moon, but it's things that you just don't expect. It's like when you go in to do a ritual with a spirit, you got your plans, they've got theirs. So it may not, coincide with each other, but every so often it does. And this definitely did because a brother of mine came to me. He had no idea what I was doing, how I was doing it, and he just came to me and said that Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, and Astaroth literally came to him and said, "I have a message for your brother. Tell him this," and just said, "It is done. It is done." And it's like shit. So this is kind of it was kind of like a confirmation type thing because even I felt like it had been granted, and so that was awesome. So I'm going to be putting forth a few videos of some pyromancy techniques over the next few days, and before I have to go back to work. So I hope to see you here. If you like what I do, you like what I'm doing, and you like what you see, you're learning from it, awesome. I hope to see you back in another video. If you really want to follow and get notifications, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you don't, who cares? I'm not about popularity or numbers. It's more about the practices for me. And like I said, if you're going to preach something, always back it up. All right? So have a good day, and until next time.